Greetings, everyone! It is I, Kikoski, welcoming you to the stream. The pre-stream, to be exact, where you have the opportunity to get here, get comfortable, and get ready for the continuing saga of apparently me not dying in King of the Castle. How are you doing? I hope you are doing well. As we prepare, and I start customizing various rulers because I haven't done that yet, and I absolutely should. I absolutely should do that. Not dying? We can fix that. I mean, long live the root. Yeah. I anticipate there will be trouble. There will very much be trouble on the horizon. Hello, how are you? I hope you are doing well this day. Looking for various things here. I wish you all the best for 2024. Thank you ever so much. That is so kind of you. Thank you. And hello, how are you all? I've done, by the way, the Count of the East. I've already made them. Hello, Animex. How are you? Hope you are doing well. I'm doing well, thank you. No real complaints here. Lower on the space year of 2020. It's such a good space year. The most fantastic space year. Does my game have to be active to connect to custom design? I don't know. I honestly do not know. I hope you're all doing well. Better safe than sorry, that's true. Hello there, Tiny Train. I am creating custom rulers while we wait. No, but it may not connect if you didn't connect the game before the dynasty started. That is a point. Just coming up with my various dynasty peoples. I'm good. The cat survived the fireworks. That's good to hear. It's very good to hear. Haven't come up with something for here. I'm just making all my various peoples. Just in case you ever get involved in anything myself. Spent last night watching School Spirits. Sounds like you had a fun time. Sounds like you had a very fun time. Ooh, hang on. That's much better. There we go. That's much better. Thank you very much, Juan. Did they get all the unlock? I did manage to get them all, yes. I did.
Mayhem!
And then there is Deus gifting 5 subs. That is very kind of you. Thank you. That is incredibly kind. Thank you ever so much. I could actually change the colour of the beard now that I think about it. So that's like that. So we do... That's better. Happy New Year. Thank you very much. Okay, got you. Go. Actually, you know what? Let us do that. And that. And that. Yeah, I kinda like that. Just need to change slightly the proportions of the face. I haven't made you yet. I have loads of ideas here. If memory serves last time, folks, I had a victory. A close-fought victory, but a victory nonetheless. It was a fine, fine thing. You are an excellent puppet king for Cap. An excellent... Why would you change that magnificent beard? I mean, it's pretty magnificent, but we could do better maybe, Alias. How are you doing, by the way? I hope you are doing well. Hope things are good. Let's change the color of this beard. So that it's more that color. Thank you very much, Shield of Hope. Hello, Ada. How are you doing? I hope you are doing well. Don't forget you can change your shield heraldry. Oh, don't worry, I will. I will. I'm just changing other things first. Do need to change the heraldry here. You are right. Hello, Scarlet. How you doing? Hope things are going good. You're that, so I think for you... There was having a very warm new year. That sounds pretty good. I'm alright, thank you. No real complaints. Here we shall make this person's the crab. Yours shall be... Make yours a boat. No. I've got ideas. Yours has absolutely been changed. Haven't decided on yours yet. I mean, honestly, that one is just fine. Oh, there's a lot of them here. Ooh. Why do Chiefs get the most options? I don't know. The last person I haven't done anything with yet is you. And I think for you... What hats have I been given? Those are pretty fantastic hats. I don't remember this many options before. Maybe they added some. Maybe they added an option or two. How are you doing, Misty One? I hope you are doing well. Ah, new year and a new monarch to toss in the river. I see we are planning on tossing the monarch in the river, are we? Is that the plan? Toss the monarch in the river. I swear, you just can't get the people these days. You get tossed in the river. What can you do? River, apparently. Just nothing but river. It is a tradition. Is it? Is it a tradition? Also, I feel like you should absolutely have some glasses. You're absolutely a glasses-wearing kind of person. You're not. You're not either. Don't blame me, I never voted to throw you in the river. That's true, you didn't vote for that. You didn't. Do you know what? We might change things. It started with Spunty the First, so it's a tradition. It's a tradition. That's how we start traditions, is it? This is a different country. That is true, but apparently we still have that tradition. Doesn't matter. It transcends. Remember how well the rains went for monarchs that didn't get thrown in the river? Poorly. That's how they went. I mean, you're not wrong. They did go kind of poorly. They did go kind of bad. But the reigns of monarchs that did get thrown in the river also went poorly. Yeah, that's also... Oh. Sorry, but that is a really cool look. I quite like that. That's a very cool look. That is a very dashing monarch. That is a very dashing monarch. I approve of that new monarch. Everyone else is all sorted. Oh, it's so fancy. That king would never get overthrown. He's far too dashing. I know! The most dashing of kings. I'm totally gonna get overthrown. Remember, folks. The UI should be up. The UI should be up. So, Kiko, you know you can join a faction when you're a monarch? I can join a faction when I am a monarch. Why would I want to? Genuine question, why would I want to? Hello, fan. How you doing? I mean, I know what's gonna happen this time round. When you're about to lose... He already joined a faction. He favors the counts. Yeah, I don't think that's intended. Yeah. But, you know what we don't have right now? There is no Cav. The Counts went for a team victory last time, and we won. Yeah, but there's no Cav this time. I'm a little bit concerned. It might result in my doom. There's no Cav. Who's going to be the chief backstabber? I know! Who is going to be the chief backstabber? We don't know. it clearly won't be me. Hold on a moment, just got to do that there. The counts don't seem to feel like he's on. I mean, I can't speak for all of you. I don't know how you're going to play. I know how I'm going to play, and it's going to end poorly. I'm sure that someone will stab Kiko in the back, or the face, or the back and the face. Never discount that both are a valid option.
Mayhem! Yippee!
And there is Urbis there with 11 months and an 11-month streak. Thank you ever so much. That is so absurdly kind of you. Thank you. That is very kind. That's some very fancy options. There are also these options that are pretty fancy, but no. We're going with this one. None of the others have scrolling down. No, they don't. They don't. Why don't we just stab... Why don't you just not stab me? I mean, that's an idea. New crowning tradition, being stabbed in the face. Fortunately, that is not an option. That is not an option. I think we actually have a very rich kingdom right now. Because, yeah, I think things went pretty well in that regard. I don't know how. Yeah, I think there's a reason why assassination attempts aren't in the coronation, because otherwise games would never start. Like, they have to give a game at least some chance to progress, otherwise you prevent people from seeing the game. Yeah, well, maybe I should stop trusting the Count-sponsored doctors. We are, however, on Monarch Varenica II of the Buck Rampage dynasty. So I settled for throwing him in the river. It's a happy medium. Varenica II. You should trust we patricians. We have your best interest. I don't think any of you have their best interest in mind. I mean, eventually we get bored of killing you off. Eventually. Oh dear. I'm going to load the game right now. We have the option of people being able to join. But there is Tentretto with 50 months and a 50-month streak. Thank you ever so much. That is so kind of you. Thank you. See, it remembers the people that played before. Hello, Shadow Reapers, and Patrician, switching name to Green. Oh dear. I will avenge my mother this time. It's not my fault you all decided to try and kill me. It's not my fault. We're in 2024, and here we are, ready to be murderized. Ooh. Not a lot of votes this time. Hamster said he was sponsored by me. And I'm newly dressed in my colours. Marvellous. Glad to hear it. We'll leave it a little bit. We'll give people the opportunity to join in. We have 8, 6, and 7. For anyone who doesn't know, you can click the badge in the chat box and scroll down to change your name colour. That is true. Gabish, you now remember our deal, don't you, your majesty? Oh dear. Oh dear. How will the how will the Counts of the East do without their main schemer? We'll leave it another 40 seconds before we go ahead. We'll leave it 40 seconds. We'll see how awfully this will go. Probably very. Ooh, we have a nice even amount. 8, 8, and 8. Pardon me for the sniffle there. Yep, that's fine. You don't have to, join in. You can just watch. Some people just like to watch. Reign number 2 of this newish... Oh! Oh yes, I remember that faith was a thing here. You can also join mid-game. So this kingdom is very rich in trade. But that's stability though, 6 and 6. You've got to have trade and faith apparently. Let's do as we always do. The introduction of the council. Now that you're the monarch, your first duty is to meet with the council of the nobles. We'll go with the East patricians first. The Counts of the East. An honor to finally make your acquaintance, your highness. I am dismayed to hear of your mother's passing. Ah, thanks, Alias. The patricians? A pleasure, your esteemed highness. I hope to see our kingdom prosper and grow wealthy under your reign. And what about the south? May the ninth god bless your reign, your holiness. I trust you will conduct yourself with honor and faith. Yay! You gonna argue now? Yep, you all start to bicker. This is what your mother fought so hard for? Apparently so. We'll load traction benches in the coast. Uh-oh. Of course we're gonna argue. Let's go with the coronation. Your Majesty, it was an honor to serve your mother, but now it's your time to wear the crown. I will never age, apparently. As a tradition, the council will decide what happens to your coronation. Should I get changed into my waterproof robes, then? It may be for the best, your Majesty. Shall we call the nobles in? Thank you, Mr. Dark. You know, there's only one time to dump the new monarch. Anyone got the cement mixer? There's only one thing I'm going to veto. And it's that. We know how it goes. You give the option of a lavish feast, religious ceremony, or monarch in the river. I know how this goes. Every time. It's always the monarch in the river. Yeah. I was sort of anticipating that. Ooh, nicely balanced. 9, 9, and 9. Tradition, tradition. Hey, is that a fiddle in the background? It apparently is. Voting has closed. Throw the monarch into the river. Why am I shiny? Because you are a person that owns the game, and thus you have your thing linked, which means it uses the person that you have generated, and it means you have a higher chance of being involved in events. It is decided the monarch will be thrown in the river. What? What kind of coronation is that? A very traditional ceremony, dating back to the Queen Alma the Wise. It's meant to represent you being reborn as a true monarch. The nobles pick you up and carry you out into the Treadwater River, hurl you into the shallow water with a cheer. Oh, it begins. When you climb back to the bank, soaking wet, the Chancellor steps forward and places the crown upon your head. Is it your imagination, or are some of the nobles giggling? Reborn, turning off for the lulz. Alright, let's do something interesting here. Your Majesty, you have some big boots to fill. With your mother out of the picture, the nobles will be looking for any opportunity to replace you. When you die, how would you hope the kingdom will remember you? We've done an architect of a golden age. We've also done the parent of a nation. I think this time we're going to go for Peacekeeper. Yeah, as a peacekeeper. An admirable aim. I suggest over the next few years you focus on improving the kingdom's stability as much as possible. Once you have an heir, I will return to discuss how your ambition is progressing. Good luck, Your Majesty. I mean, if we're pretty stable... But maybe some people want the stability to increase. This is the problem. Like, someone might have a thing to boost stability, someone might have a thing to tank stability. And sometimes events that lead to something else will mean more stability. So it's not always so straightforward. It's not always as simple as you want it to be. Let us end the season. Happy of the Master Greg's lineage, charismatic political mastermind, stands bathed in sunlight, droning on as in a daze. A false pretender occupies the throne while my claim is ignored. Grandees of the South, this is a stain on our honour. We must not allow it to go unanswered. Raise authority, lower own defiance. Raise stability. I mean, one of these is, Oh look, there's one boosting stability. However... people voted for an interesting one there. Oh, people voted for this is going to be interesting. You didn't vote for raised stability. Coronation went great, we got thrown in the river. Raise authority. The grandees plan to make a bargain with a wizard. These immortal spellcasters seldom get involved in political squabbles, but perhaps the monarch was considered a threat to their autonomy. To advance their scheme, the grandees must raise authority to 5 or more in 2 seasons. Right, lower authority. That is the thing I must do. Alex of the Animex 75 family. Infamous coastal entrepreneur. Yeah, you have to keep it at 5 though. I could lower it to 4 and then it won't count. Scribbles in a well-used quill on a hardwood desk, speaking calmly. And everybody else is going to make sure that goes down. Fellow patricians of the coast, my claim to the throne is far more legitimate than that of monarch Veronica II. Something must be done. Lower stability, raise treasury, raise own trade. I mean, I think one of these is a shoe-in. But we saw that one try and progress before. Oh dear. True, but you saw how difficult that one became later. It was involved around the treasury. Monopoly. The patricians plan to privatize this entire damn kingdom. First, they must build up their industry. To advance their scheme, they must raise their trade to 5 or more in a year. Wow. Tatiana of the Shield of Hope dynasty, notorious former hermit, leans delicately on a podium, whispering carefully. My fellow counts, in ancient times, the East was its own proud kingdom. We can bring back those days of glory, but not while the false Queen Veronica II wears the crown. Ah! Clearly you think you've lost control, and everyone is against me. Oh dear. Oh! Oh! Oh, these are interesting. No, no option to stay loyal. Oh dear. So, trade, authority, defiance. The counts plan to summon a demon to possess the monarch, putting them totally under their control. First, they must lull the monarch into a false sense of security. To advance their scheme, they must lower their defiance to 4 or less in 2C. Oh! Right! That's difficult to stop. Not impossible, though. Just difficult. So, can't really do anything against you. Can definitely stop you. Maybe if I can increase your defiance by 3? Wait, half-sibling? How am I their half-sibling? Demon possession. What could go wrong? Yeah. I'm gonna pick... Ooh. I want to pick swing vote. I want to pick swing vote. Let's keep it interesting. So... Weddings! More fish! First. One evening you're sitting up in bed reading some paperwork when a filthy crusty present wanders into your bedchamber as bold as brass. Hello, your majesty! I managed to get back into... Oh wait, you're a different majesty now. You're different. Mind if I take a seat? Yes, I do mind. I'll stand then, no problem. Listen, I've got a bloody great idea for you. What if we tied a bunch of birds to a knight? I reckon you could field some aerial troops and totally dominate the battlefield. Before the peasants can explain further, your marshal bursts into the bedchamber, sword drawn. Your Majesty, sorry I didn't come sooner. I had no idea where the palace gut watch are. Do you want me to kill the intruder? No, I want to hold a vote on his proposal. No, no. No. Sure. Whatever you say, Your Majesty. She goes and gathers up the council, who trickle into your hall in their pajamas, rubbing sleep in their eyes. They don't look particularly pleased to have woken up. Should we experiment? Should we experiment on tying birds? This is a fantastic idea. So, we're gonna veto this one. Because we're absolutely doing this idea. Should we experiment with tying birds to knights for the purposes of aerial combat? Yes! This is revenge for throwing you into the river, isn't it? No! Oh, and people are voting for the East! Oh no! You know, this could work. This could actually work. It won't! This is a brilliant idea. We'll have the finest airborne poets. Oh no! Under the peasants' close supervision, a flock of ravens are tied to an eastern knight. Instead of flying, the knight is lost in a flurry of mad pecking and pooping. The peasant insists you merely use the wrong type of bird. Further experiments are conducted with owls, eagles, geese, woodpeckers, ostriches, and little grebes before hundreds of eastern troops quit in disgust. Needless to say, the whole thing is an embarrassing failure. Oh no, my authority dropped! God, it's the worst thing ever! I just need to increase this by 2 more. Your Majesty, if that peasant had been a maniac with a crossbow, I dread to think what could have happened. If one thing's clear from this mess is that you need an honor guard who can actually keep you safe, not like the pathetic watch. Think carefully, Your Majesty. These guards' loyalties will be divided between you and their region. Of course, you can just hire foreign mercenaries. They'd be loyal to coin above all. Tell me about the... that's a bad idea. You should hire the gladiators, Your Majesty. They'll be able to protect you better than any. Yeah, they also want me dead. Hire the mercenaries, that's always what. Battle's lost to some rats and goblins. The problem is I know I need to keep money. Yeah, but the East have the fighting ability of toilet paper. Is the problem. Money is overrated. So, PGW, just gonna check which faction you're a part of here. Oh, are you a patrician, by the way? Oh, is that so? I'm gonna go with the Southern Battle Nuns again. They're sworn a vow of silence, so at least they won't spill state secrets. But their faith and loyalty is to the church above all, even your own safety. We're gonna go with the Battle Nuns again. I don't want the Counts because they're rubbish. I don't want you because you're going to plan to scheme me. I have made my decision. We're going with the Southern Nuns. This also might raise your defiance. Oh no! The East has become more defiant. Why are you saying we are the only ones scheming? You're the only ones that look like you might get somewhere. You're all scheming. but I've stopped them. And I'm potentially going to halt you. Yes, with your military of 3. All I'd need to do is boost everyone else's military, and we'll be better than you. Yeah. I will make the arrangements at once. But our aerial night squad worked wonders. Did it? Did it really? The Battlons arrive in the palace a few weeks later. They nod to you silently, their solemn steel masks betraying nothing, before filing in formation behind your throne. So yeah, we need to deal with the fish. Your Majesty, the Archduke of Saal has invited you to his forthcoming wedding. Your attendance would help shore up relations between our two great neighbors. We're gonna do the thing. Depths below, great nation. The Isle of Saal is nothing more than a nest of pirates and cutthroats. And I heard it is the proper marriage anyway. The Archduke is marrying a fish. The groom is a finfolk, one of the denizens of the sea, perfectly sapient, when actually amphibious. Well, the church doesn't agree to with a man marrying a fish. We mustn't legitimize this farce by allowing the monarch to attend. I mean, you want to see me marry a fish? FYI, I will sabotage any and all schemes to get fish wedding on the table. People, you want me to come on! You want my character to marry the fish? It'll be hilarious! Well, I'm gonna say that of course we're going to attend this wedding. Come on, it's fish! We want a fish wedding! Yeah! Fish wedding! Must get that fish achievement! It's gonna be the worst thing ever. Hi, Sirius, you arrived. We're gonna go marry a fish man. It's gonna be. Of course, the monarch should attend the wedding. Oh no. Excellent. The wedding is scheduled for next year. I'll inform the Archduke that you should be delighted to attend. This kingdom is sliding into madness. When it's announced that you will attend the wedding, the patricians are naturally scandalized. But the peasants, sentimental as ever, are in favor of your decision. Public opinion turns against the overly strict church. Funny this happens 2 monarchs in a row, like mother, like daughter. They're attending the wedding, Kiko. Kiko is not marrying the merman. That's what you think! Your Majesty, there is a petition here to see you. Today. We're not exactly sure where she's from. What does she want? You'll see soon enough, Your Majesty. Greetings, Your Majesty. My name is Oreed. I have a proposition for you. Where are you from? Distant shores, Your Majesty. I prefer to keep my exact origins a secret. And who are you exactly? I am but a humble ship's captain. One of great renown. But that was a different time. Not a pirate, then? No, Your Majesty. Never would I countenance the thought. But what is this proposition? 3 ships are docked in a harbour to the west. Their holds are packed to the gills with muskets and gunpowder, and they each boast a full battery of cannons. They are yours, in return for a small favour. Muskets? The small furry animals? Muskets are powerful weapons, Your Majesty. The secrets of their manufacture are known only in the Republic of Kurth. What would I do with muskets? Outfit your armies with them, Your Majesty. They are powerful weapons, enough to give you an edge over your enemies. And what is this favour? I only wish to stay in the kingdom with the blessing of your blessing and protection. I can show your soldiers how to use the weapons, of course. To avoid any accidents. Alright, what did you do? I don't know what you mean, Your Majesty. I simply wish to keep my dealings private. You will forgive me, I hope. Ooh! We can just take the weapons. I mean, I don't have a way. I don't have a way to swing the vote anyway, so I'm gonna have swing votes active here. We'll see what happens. It's a mixture. We might just arrest her. Oh no! This might go badly for us. Okay, I didn't have a way to. It might. You send word to the coast, where the foreign ships are impounded and the weapons seized. Or it goes quietly as you show her to her cell, though the contempt on her face is clear as day. The confiscated muskets are distributed to your soldiers. Without training, however, they are more than a few exploded wagons and missing limbs. Darn it! It's all good! It's not good. It's not good. Hey! Oh! Oh! Right, so, for those curious, the grandees want this. The patricians want that. Shall we build a theatre? And everything else is kind of gravy. That's not going to make much difference in the grand scheme of things. Time for you to fund stuff. I do love the arts. Oh! Oh! Yeah, I saw a sneaky thing there from the Counts. Oh my, C has definitely won. C has a lot. Oh dear. And time's up. So, both of those were bad for me, but I have time to do the authority. I have time on this one. I have a season. And a season. Oh. It's okay. We got this. Your August Majesty. Your August Majesty. Something most strange has occurred in the Ghost Sea. A new island has risen, halfway between our shores and the Isle of Sal. The Finn folk raised it from the depths using their weird ocean magic. It's true, Your Majesty. The Finn folk raised the island to celebrate the marriage of their prince to the Archduke of Sal. They were gifted to him on the day of the ceremony. This is terrible news. That island is of immense strategic importance. We can't let it fall into Salish hands. I mean, we should clearly do this one, because this leads to fish folk marriage. Secret negotiate. No. A leads to fin folk marriage. I can veto D. Yeah, but A can also be seduce the fish man. Oh no, we do want D, don't we? But do A and D lead the same thing? D might also lead to marriage. We went with A last time. But D is with the approval of the council. I'm gonna presume you guys know what's up here. We saw A already, yes, but we didn't actually get to marry the fish man. I'm gonna put the monarch vote as A, and we'll see what happens. No, we were married last time. We're not married this time, though. I think it's exactly the same experience. Don't worry, it will be a different experience. Almost is like, nah, we're not gonna sabotage anything. Besides, I might not last long enough for the marriage to happen. I might be dead by that point. I'm a little concerned. But we want to see fish folk wedding. At least I want to see it. Good, now hop to it. I don't care what you offer them. Get that island! Preparations begin for your clandestine visit. Your chancellor has heard of magic reeds that allow the bearer to breathe underwater, but such a thing would take weeks to track down. These give you time to prepare for your underwater visit. Meanwhile, bounty hunters! Your Majesty, these good folk are bounty hunters, representing the Republic of Kurth, they say. Monarch Veronica II, we greet you humbly. How may I help you? Oh, tell me more about Kurth. It is lovely this time of year. You should visit. Lots of rain, but we make do. As for more important matters, we are searching for someone. A fugitive, you might say. Last we heard, she went by the name Oreed. She's in my... What kind of fugitive is she? The ships under her command are property of the Republic of Kurth, as is their cargo. Well, she's in my dungeons. That's excellent news. We ask permission to purchase her from you, so we may stand trial and face justice back in Kurth. Oh, and the weapons she stole. They still belong to the Republic, you understand. We kindly ask you to return them. Ooh! 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 Could B lead to war? No, A and B are good. We like A and B. We just don't want C. Which is why C isn't going to be on the table. There is going to be no C. Might be B, though. Oh. Oh. Okay, looks like we're keeping the weapons. That's fine. Maybe. We do want Kiko to go broke. Yeah, that ain't happening anytime soon. 19 nobles voted for this. The bounty hunters grumble, but there's little they can do. In the end, they agree to leave only with a reed in exchange for a smaller payment. All in all, you've come out with a tidy profit and a few messy weapons. Ah, wonderful. Yes, but we know where it leads to. Your Majesty, it's important to find a spouse sooner rather than later. I'll take the liberty of finding eligible candidates. What's your preference? Men, women? Do you not mind? Fish! So, we could just say any, and we could just fob them off. Or I could just say I'm not interested. I could just say I'm not interested. Any includes fish. Alright, we'll send messages out. The most interested nobles in the family. Let's see what they have to offer. Meanwhile, bad things are about to happen. Hidden in a labyrinth in an eastern castle, a pair of counts meet to speak of their schemes against the monarch. The Chancellor sent me a fruit basket last week to thank us for our efforts in helping the crown. It's working. Our reputation is secure. Our problem now is the Archbishop. His beady little eyes will be focused on us if we're not careful. We must evade him at all costs. For the next stage, they must lower their faith to... Right, I have to increase your faith. I lowered that. I've got a year, though. So, need to raise the faith in there. It might have, but they might have also rebelled. What if we're going to drive a Chancellor to drink? Possibly. Down in the south, Grandi Inuidan is practicing his swordplay, cutting a dummy to ribbons. Suddenly, the sky turns black. A flash of light, a boom of thunder, and a figure stands where charred scraps of dummy used to be. I am Athmorel, Wizard of the Storm. Speak your peace, mortal, and be quick. I thought we might have a common goal. The monarch has been overstepping their bounds recently, haven't they? This is undeniably true. Watching from the clouds, I have observed many grave injustices committed by the monarch's minions. Technically, the precepts of magic forbid me from intervening. But alas, my colleagues abandoned that rule long ago. I suppose I gain nothing from keeping to it still. One thing, though, you must deal with the bees on my behalf. Did you say bees? Yes, on this plane they're simple insects, but in the apiary, the world of dreams and magic, they're powerful and intelligent, call themselves the dreams of being. They have innate fondness for royalty, and sometimes protect monarchs from magical interference, but they won't harm non-magical folk beyond the occasional sting, so you can deal with them. For the next stage of the scheme, they must lower the combined farming to 14 or less. Well, currently it's 12. So, raise farming. Raise farming. Raise faith. We need, yeah, so the counts and the patricians need to raise farming. The grandees and the patricians need to raise the counts' faith. Lowering trade's not going to make a difference. You need to get that to 5. That ain't going to happen. You're not going to lower their trade by 6 in 2 seasons. That's not going to happen. You can afford to be taxed a bit more. could always invest in crabs. I don't think... I'm actually going to take a... take a bit of a hit here. Bribe us. You want to prevent their schemes. Like, I have a vested interest in myself here. Look at the counts. They're rich. They're also the strongest military might in the entire kingdom. Maybe they won't kill you. They are absolutely going to kill me. Ah! A dynasty event? What is a dynasty event? Interesting. No, we're visiting the Finfolk first. Oh, there was a birthmark, wasn't there? Fish wedding. The Finfolk send a stagecoach made from a giant clam pulled by seahorses. You equip your magic breathing reed and hop inside. The clam carriage plunges back beneath the waves, and you are whisked down into the murky depths. A few hours later, you arrive at the undersea citadel of kelp-woven huts. Their prince meets you in a grand table formed of knotted coral. Tiny Finfolk spawnlings swim around your legs as you sit. Greetings, your majesty. We are honored to have such a prestigious visitor. Wow, this place is amazing. A whale passes overhead, momentarily dousing you in shadow. So you're here to discuss my betrothal to Archduke Shomo, and the island I'm giving him as a dowry. First of all, I must offer my congratulations. Thank you. Unlike most of my kind, I believe the Finfolk and Surface Folk get along. The wedding is the first step in that process. May I ask, why do you have to give him a dowry? Well, it's a very small island. The Archduke assured me it wasn't worth very much. After all, you Surface Folk have so much land already. Actually, the island's worth a huge amount to us. Oh, really? Interesting. The Archduke told me differently. The Awuga option instantly upsets him. He's Veronica here, playing it smooth. This new island could cause a war between your future husband and I. A war? Really? I can't risk that. It seems my betrothed has misled me about the importance of this island. Such deceit. He is not the man I thought him to be. I will have to call off the wedding. Thank you for clarifying this, Your Majesty. Why should I go so soon? Let's have a drink. The Finfolk Prince offers you a bitter seaweed beer, which you imbibe to a complex underwater drinking mechanism. For hours, you and he swap stories and commiserate over the hardships of royalty. So hard being queen. As the night draws on, you find yourself and the prince growing closer and closer. Touch on the knee, stroke the gills. Could you take things further? I mean, yeah. Her mother knew that the Finfolk were irresistible. It's a tough job. I mean, rule by royal decree. Isn't this heretical? Yes. You spend a pleasurable night with the Finfolk Prince atop a bed of woven kelp. It'll be a night you remember for a long time, but it's over far too quickly. propose to marry the Finfolk Prince. When you drop to one knee, the Finfolk Prince makes a startled noise that sounds like a frog throwing up a set of bagpipes. You cannot be serious. This is so fast. You don't even know my name. Hello, no, not a Casca. What's your name? My name is Glorb. Problem solved. I have only just decided to end my betrothal to the Archduke. You would have me move on so quickly? We're destined to be together. But what about your vindictive nobles and your hidebound priests? Your kingdom is less accepting of my kind than the Isle of Sal. Love can overcome any hurdle. This is madness, but... With a gentle smile, Glorb grabs you by the hand. Yes, yes, yes! 1,000 times yes! In fact, why wait? Let's get married right now! We can formalize things in your cathedral later, but how many of your kind can boast to having an underwater wedding? The prince rushes about the village, organizing an impromptu ceremony. Before you know it, you're swimming down the aisle, a manta ray draped around your shoulders like a cloak. Ziggy's out there with 49 months and a 49-month streak. That is so awesome. Thank you ever so much. Happy New Year. We should support this marriage. I'm not half fish. So, Archbishop, what did you want to talk about again? Do you take me as your husband? I do. Glorb draws you in for a passionate kiss. The watching villagers cheer, filling the coral church with bubbles. And so we are married in the eyes of the Deep Queen. I suppose you must journey to the surface and marry the eyes of your 9th god as well. I'm so looking forward to meeting your courtiers. They'll love you. But in the back of your mind, you're worried. The church is not going to take this lightly. The next day, after a wonderful wedding night, you and your husband travel back to the surface in a clamshell carriage. So how did it... Oh, 9th above! You've brought the Finfolk Prince back with you! The Chancellor turns a faint shade of red at the sight of your handsome, glistening husband. Indeed, good Chancellor. And we are married now. Ah. I see. Well, may I be the first to congratulate you, Your Majesty. But the Church will not be happy when they find out. It was fate. Her mother also fell for a fish man. This is true. Let's see this. You're enjoying a peaceful breakfast when the Archbishop barges into your dining hall waving a scrap of paper. Your Majesty, this is an outrage! This was nailed to the door of the cathedral this morning by some 2-bit priest called Smote Lemongrave. What is it? It is an essay decrying the church, making all sorts of fantastical accusations. It's the writing thing! I made writing available, and this is the consequences. What exactly are his issues? He claims that we're corrupt just because we're selling premium tickets to a cushy afterlife at 100 gold a pop. And he wants the church to officially change the 4th sentence on page 118 of the Holy Book so that it forbids selfishness instead of elfishness. He claims it's a typo, just because elves aren't real. He even criticizes my hat, says it's a bit much. How dare he? Smells like heresy to me, Your Majesty. I can have a pyre built in the city square before noon.
Mayhem! Yippee!
Ooh. And that there is Alias with Prime Gaming. 49 months. Thank you ever so much. That is so kind of you. I will sub for fishy weddings. Thank you. That is really kind of you. Also remember, if you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime. You need to have a Prime sub, you can spend it one like. You need to spend it on me! I won't say no. How dare would someone make elves legal? A is honestly the best option. Says nothing says honeymoon like... Yeah, but... It's not the best option for me. Because I want stability. You don't want stability. So I will keep that as an option. It does lower faith, which we kind of need. That is also true. But does it only lower faith in the patricians' territory? That's the thing. Does it lower faith just here, or does it lower faith everywhere? Because if it only lowers faith here, it's not that important. He's a kingdom-wide figure. Oh. Ooh. Most events only affect the region they're in. Yeah. You know what? No, I want faith low. Oh no, I do want faith high. I don't want to lower faith at all. I want the Count's faith high. I don't want this. At all, not even that. Everything else, you can deal with that. I don't want that. I mean, that's probably going to end badly too. But I can't control everything. XCOM luck, here we go. No, not XCOM luck. By the way, the wedding might end up going well. The church should address these concerns. You think this fool has credibility? I never heard such blasphemy! The Archbishop storms out of the council hall, but only a few days later he reluctantly agrees to a meeting with Lemongrave. That doesn't stop him from retaliating, however. In sermons across the kingdom, his loyal creatures call you a faithless devil and a craven labberhound. What does that last word even mean? I don't know! Now, give me a moment. Yeah, we did! So this one's going to be interesting. Give me a second, I'll be right back. Ah, I see dancing has happened while I'm gone. It's alright, we're good, everyone. We're good, I'm back. Well, I spent weeks finding suitable matches for you, Your Majesty. But I suppose, given the circumstances, I wasted my time. Yes! Yes, you did. Ooh. 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 I like Iron Choice. I do, but I also kind of want... I need authority as well. I'm going to pick this, and I'm going to get rid of swing votes. I'm going to get rid of Monarch's vote. It has been denying me the ability to bribe you. A controversial wedding! Oh. Oh. You stare out at the assembled faces of your nobles. You have a big announcement for them, and you're not sure how they'll take it. Badly, you expect. You clear your throat. I've married the Finfolk Prince. Your servants blow trumpets to signal his arrival. He steps out beside you, his feet slapping on the marble, and waves awkwardly. I will do my best to bring our peoples together. For too long, land and sea have failed to understand each other. A collective gasp ripples through the ranks of nobles. Someone faints. One of the patricians spits out a mouthful of wine. Depths below! The monarch has married a fish! Someone fetch the archbishop! Oh! Oh! That's amazing! My blood! My blood of the dead! You married a Finfolk over one of our eligible candidates? I'm hoping this marriage will herald a new era of tolerance. The nobles mutter darkly amongst themselves. News of your Finfolk husband spreads like wildfire throughout the kingdom. It's not long before an outraged archbishop is petitioning the council. Your Majesty, this undersea wedding is not legitimate. Finfolk traditions have no authority in this kingdom. And I will not allow your fishy friend to step a single webbed foot into St. Bertrand's Cathedral. No wedding! The monarch already got married underwater. Oh. We want it in the cathedral. I want to throw it in their faces. I want to throw it in their faces. A does nothing, but I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see it. I want the wedding in the cathedral. This is going to be hilarious, even if it means the end of my dynasty. We're doing it. Maybe, if you want me to. Oh, everyone wants it. Oh, this is going to be fantastic. Oh, I love this. It's like, you are marrying me in that cathedral because I am the queen and this is my fishfolk husband called Glorb. As this game is, I folk. Marry us in the cathedral or lose your head. 5 people hated fun. This is gonna be amazing. Ba-ba! Your wedding to the Finfolk Prince is naturally the talk of the kingdom. Commoners travel from every corner of the realm to attend. For a week in the day, the capital is one giant party. Many nobles refuse to attend the event. Even now, they're still furious that you're marrying a Finfolk. On the day of the ceremony, the streets are packed, but St. Bertrand's Cathedral is nearly empty. But when you walk down the aisle and see Glorb waiting by the altar, nothing else matters. Ugh. Do you take this fish to be your lawfully wedded husband? I object, says Shomo. You'd recognize that figure anywhere. It's Archduke Shomo, the man who had been betrothed to the Finfolk Prince, until you swooped in. You stole my husband! Sneak! Fiend! I want my island! The Archduke is swiftly bundled out by security, but you suspect that's not the last you've heard from him. You turn your attention back to the Archbishop, who rolling his eyes. I do. Then I pronounce you married in the eyes of the kingdom. Now get out of here. You're greeted outside the cathedral by a huge cheering crowd. The nobles and church may not like it, but the common folk adore your new Finfolk husband. They like me! They really like me! You and your husband head back to the palace, where you celebrate long into the night. It's hours before the two of you have any time alone. Surface customs are so fascinating. I was particularly impressed by your land horses. You can, apparently, Animax. So what now? I can't stay above water for more than a week, and my people still need a leader. We'll work it out. Of course we will. Let's hope your nobles will get used to my presence. Let's not worry about it tonight. You're right, of course. Farming's gonna go up! Farming goes up! Yes! Care to join me in bed? No time like the present. Come here, my darling spouse. You don't get much sleep. Glorb unknowingly echoes the words of the great first king. Thank you ever so much, that is so kind of you. The church condemns you, but the peasants are on your side for once. Across the kingdom, more and more ordinary people are striking up relationships with Finfolk and getting married in the shallows. Yeah, that's not good. The improved relations between the sea and shores are particularly beneficial for the coast, where Finfolk happily herd fish into coastal nets. We have time on this one. 3 seasons to raise faith by 2. That one, there's nothing we can do about it. We need 14 or less. Yeah, 14 or less, you're at 6, 8, 15. Farming needed to stay low. Yeah. This one, however, might be interesting. Against his wishes, the Archbishop has agreed to meet with Smote Lemongrave, the controversial priest who's been criticizing the church, and hammer out a compromise. So glad you could make it. Spare me your sarcasm, old fellow. I'm here to save your church from rot and corruption. Why would the Ninth forbid elfishness? Elves aren't even real. Of course elves aren't real. The Ninth god forbade them. Do you wear that stupid hat to hide your empty skull? How dare you insult my hat! I will have no more of this! Begone! Needless to say, the meeting doesn't go well. If you expect me to compromise with that jackanape, the council better make it worth my while. Ooh. Yeah, that's bad. A might be nice. C doesn't help you, it's the Count's faith that matters. B might be... No! B lowers farming. We don't want that. We don't want farming going down. That's the thing, we don't want farming. And I need money for the second half of the patrician scheme. Ah, only some of you want farming. The grandees want farming. You can afford it. That is true, I can afford it. But I do this one. I veto that one. Because I don't want farming to go down. I can afford it, but I can't control everything. People want me to have less money for the future. Like, they want me to lose money. They want the deal to fail. This could be interesting. We're seeing new events, folks. Also fish people. We're going to get a fish ad. It's going to be amazing. You want a fish heir. You married the fish, nothing else matters. This is true. How much? Well, maybe I can see what this fool has to say. And so after weeks of discussion, the summit between Lemongrave and Archbishop draws to a close. So, no more tickets to the afterlife. We'll change the wording of the holy text to forbid both selfishness and elfishness. But can I at least keep my hat? Fine, you can keep the hat. I guess. Smote Lemongrave withdraws his criticisms of the church. His followers, who have been growing increasingly rowdy, simmer down. But with the Archbishop's power diminished, so is the monarch's legitimacy. Your divine right to rule no longer sounds convincing. Okay. This, however, might be bad. Your Majesty, a few of my fellow counts have fallen ill after using the new gunpowder weapons. Some sort of allergy, though the cause is unknown. They're blaming you, saying you poisoned them. Others are simply claiming they are inelegant weapons from an uncivilized time, not worthy of a count. Many are selling them on the black market, if you care to know. Ooh. Ooh. I can't stop this. A is great. A is awful. But it would reduce your anger. I don't care about your anger, though. I'll let people change. They're all bad. I have time to get money back is the thing. It's not an instant thing. I can get money back. I can just take it from you, patricianers. So just think about that. Careful of our defiance. I do not feel good about my choice. That is okay. We could also rebel later, maybe. You agree to pay for the weapons in compensation for the illness caused, preventing them from reaching the black market in the process. Ah! Military went down! The patricians are more than happy to take the muskets off your count's hands, further bolstering their own forces. Ah! Interesting. Meanwhile, in a dingy seaside tavern, two patricians of the coast meet to plot their latest scheme. The coast's economy has never been better. We're making more money than I know what to do with. Money breeds money. I've made a series of investments to improve our profits even more, but what to do with all the rest of this gold? Time to start buying things, of course. Land, roads, bridges. We'll buy up the whole kingdom, piece by piece. But first, the monarch must be in desperate need of gold. To advance their scheme, they must lower the treasury to 1,500 in less than 2 seasons. Ooh, that could be a problem. But I'll have opportunities to raise that, don't worry. You see, you want my money to go up. You want my money to stay down. You want faith. It's gonna be interesting. An unfinished project. Oh yeah. May I have a word, Your Majesty? Many years ago, your mother, Queen Veronica, asked me to carve a mountain in their likeness. I told them it was impossible, but they insisted. How's it going?
Mayhem.
Well,
Yippee!
progress has stalled. Hello, Cirrus, how you doing? Being gifted a gift to Ada. That's very kind of you. I would love to see the project completed, so we could honor the reign of your late mother. Or if you prefer, it's not too late to redesign it in your own image. Do we really need a money sink like this? There are plenty of other places to spend our coin. Now, the thing is, only one faction wants money spending here. The other two don't. Yeah, I can't veto both of them. So what I do instead is cancel it. I think we cancel it. Because the grandees and the counts don't want the treasury to go down. Yeah, and you don't want that, because then it becomes a vote. You're not at the point yet where you can guarantee victory. And who wants to see Fish Child? Think about the Fish Child, folks. Think about the Fish Child. We want to see Fish, baby. Fish Child. This is when we can't cancel the project. We need to bleed the treasury so he can't tax his way out of this. You know the science. I must know the science of this. You must! And we will. Voting is closed. Cancelling the project. A wise decision, Your Majesty. You free up a good chunk of gold by shuttering the mountain carving project. It pads out the treasury very nicely. Ooh, just squeaked in there. Gotta keep the treasury nice and liquid. Gossip spreads about the monarch not being able to follow through on key initiatives. Pfft. The abandoned mountainside remains an ugly scar that vaguely resembles a human face. It becomes known as Monarch Renica II's folly. It is ironically an indelible part of your legacy. Blech. This could be interesting, though. Veronica 2, I have a surprise for you. Close your eyes. I will. When you open them again, you're looking at a map. There's a new dot in the middle of the Ghost Sea. What's this? I've raised a new island for you. Call it a wedding present. When you announce your good news, the Marshal is ecstatic. Even your nobles are begrudgingly impressed. Let's see what the Council wants to do with this new island. Oh. Ooh. There's a church here! I mean, the church is going to be good for that. It's not good, but the only one I don't want is this. I don't think that's going to help the counts, but we want no stability. Well, I mean, I could just veto this one. Because I'm gonna! You gotta vote for something. How are the finances for the goals? A little church converts towards that faith initiative. Yeah. I think this is only the coast. Still! And I'll let you decide. You don't want the patricians to get more military, that's for sure. We have a new island. Just here is your... Oh, it's a bit of a deadlock. The coast does need more trade. The coast can't get any more trade. But trade routes, though. The new island is completely devoid of vegetation, but a perfect place to store goods and dock ships. Coastal trade benefits massively as a result. I'm glad you like it. However, Hordling attack. Your Highness, I'm ruined! Hordlings have occupied my vineyard and driven my staff away. Why don't your fellow grandees help you out? My plight is of no interest to them. For those that don't know what a Hordling is, grubby little creatures, like fat green babies with claws. Hard to kill. Fire is the only way to get rid of them permanently. Whatever you do, we should do it soon. They're eating all my grapes. Bless you, your Highness. I mean, the grandees could do it. So, the problem with Wu A only affects the grandees. It helps them. This one, however, helps them. So really, you all need to vote for B, because B is the best one. B makes some people richer. I am on Team Babyfish. Granny positions can surely work together. No, they can't. Your goals actually entirely counteract each other. Unless you vote for B. And we get to babies. I can't do anything here to influence it. I can't do anything. I've just got to see where it lies. We want B, but... Ooh. And that's what we're getting! B! Ooh! Close! Very close! Look at how many people voted for that! You're on the ball here! You're on the ball! They voted here, but some of them voted for fish person. I demand a revote. There's clearly a traitor. You may have been the deciding vote. I'm not telling you. It's okay. There you go. You can find them. When the Grandees begrudgingly send their token force, a slaughter ensues. The Hordlings put up a meager fight before scurrying to the hills. Peculiarly, the Grandees discover that the Hordlings fill Grandee Andy the God's wine cellar with spoons. So many that it's almost impossible to move down there. It will take some time before the vineyards are back up to full production, but Grandee Andy the Grunt is grateful for the help. And the spoons. They stole all the spoons. We've discovered that they steal spoons. Ooh! Okay. So, there's a couple of things here. Ooh, there's a lot of things here. I can't influence this at all. So, the Counts want B. Everyone else doesn't want C. Well, the Grandees want C, but everyone else doesn't want C. You gotta just keep C from happening, pretty much. As long as C doesn't happen, you're all good. And there are some rich people in the Counts. Actually, the Counts might want A. Because more military. E's being funded. No, B and C. Oh! B and E. B and C. B and E. Oh. Bearing in mind, if C goes through, it's imminently bad. Farsight has a lot of money. I've just seen how much money Farsight has. Oh, okay. Okay, I've just seen what's happened. Oh my! That ended badly. For me. Yeah, that was never going to be changed. But, authority up's good. That'll probably really bite me in the bum. A terrible secret. Your Majesty, I bring urgent news. The Counts are deliberately eroding the power of the Church in the East. I feared the Church was in trouble. We have been in decline, alas. Now we know why, which is the worst part of it all. The Counts are planning to hollow your mind and summon a demon to fill the void and take possession. By the time they're finished, you'll be nothing but a shell. The demon will take over body and soul. By the ninth god! My thoughts exactly, Your
Mayhem!
Majesty. You must bring this sacrilege to the Council's attention. JS Tank there with Prime Gaming. 29 months, thank you ever so much. That is so kind of you, thank you. No, wait, what are we doing? Thank you, that's so kind of you. If I veto C, I don't think that's gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna veto C here. Delaying the scheme by a season isn't probably gonna help. Can't you want C or at best B? Well, you ain't getting C, because C ain't a thing. I'm worried about the Counts. Yeah, faith raised by 2 isn't going to help me that much. Because 4 or less by next season. But an extra season potentially to do stuff. Both are good options. Delay helps the others, true. It does. There is an assassin, by the way, coming to murder me or my fish husband. I don't know that we want that. "22 nobles voted for this. All across the kingdom. Priests to deliver impassioned sermons on the dangers of the seventh god's agents." Yeah, only to 3. More and more citizens flock to the church. The peasants place holy symbols in windows to protect their homes from demonic influence. But many of the nobles grumble about the church's meddling in official matters. Is Monarch Veneca II in charge, or the Inquisition? Yeesh. We might just die, though. One bright morning, you're taking a stroll in the palace gardens, arm in arm with your beloved husband. And with the help of many Finfolk villagers, we can build underwater roads which open up trade between... Glorb is interrupted when a black-clad figure wielding a crossbow pops out of a mulberry bush and takes careful aim at his heart. Oh, I could dive in front of the crossbow bolt! Ooh! I want to save Glorb. I want to save Glorb. Dive in front. Time seems to slow. You dive in front of your husband. A moment later, one of your southern battle nuns dives in front of you. The bolt strikes her in the stomach, sending her crashing to the floor. The rest of your honor guard rush forward and chop the would-be assassin to pieces. By the depths! My life flashed before my eyes! Your Majesty, you're right. How's the king consort? One of the honor guard is badly hurt. A physician is on their way. While we wait, let me examine the assassin's body. See the squid tattoo on the side of her face? That's the mark of the blue octopus, the Assassin's Guild from Sal. It seems Archduke Shomo is still annoyed that you stole his husband. Evidently the Archduke decided that if he can't have me, no one can. Yeah, God succeeded. Ooh! I mean, B is fantastic. We could start a war here. Who wants a war? Look, the war counts. War, wish for war. We protect the fish. Counter assassins counts. You like skullduggery, right? As you know, adding beef to the palace will help with security. I'd like to see B if it wasn't for the extra farming. Why would the patricians want A? The patricians don't want A. They don't want A. You want A. I mean, I know people are gonna vote for A. But fish war! Fish war, people! We could have a fish war! To end all fish wars! We love fish war! We're going deep into the fish lore here. Blorble blorble. The tale of Blorp. Fish war sounds like a board game. Call on the Finn folk to attack Slider's ships. Leave this to me, Veronica 2. My people can take care of this. Your husband travels home and organizes a gathering of the Finfolk clans. An underwater war is declared on Sal. Over the next few months, hundreds of Salish vessels disappear without a trace. Salish fishing and trade flounders, while the patricians prosper. At long last, Archduke Shomo is forced to meet you and your husband, begging for a truce. Bah! I surrender. There will be no more attempts on your husband's life. What else can I offer you? I will take a hefty gold tribute. With a pained sigh, the Archduke signs your proffered treaty. Can I go now? One last thing. With immense gravitas, your husband steps forward, slaps the Archduke with a large dead fish. The Archduke staggers back, looking utterly perplexed. How dare you! I don't have to suffer this! After the Archduke storms out of your negotiation tent, your husband offers you a mischievous smile. If anyone asks, that was the traditional Finfolk method of sealing a treaty. But really, I just wanted to slap him with a fish. Meanwhile, in the coast, this could drain my funds. A namesake returns. Your Majesty, you might recall your predecessor, Veronica, allowed a child from the coast to take her name. I remember that. Yes, you would have been rather young, but it wasn't so long ago. In any case, we've had word from the coast that this child has reached adulthood. What are they up to? Young Veronica has become a noted adventurer, delving into dungeons and fighting monsters. But some adventurers cause more problems than they solve. It seems Veronica is of that type. Their battles have caused several major fires in the farmland across the coast. Good thing I got that increase, eh? I wonder if it would be wise to step in. After all, they share a name with your predecessor. It's unfair, but people might associate the two. It could bring a whole royal line into disrepute. I mean, you've got a money thing there, you've got a swords thing there, you've got a farming thing there. I can't change anything? Money is pretty much the main way you're gonna get him. You could drain my coffers. And you can't raise my stability. It's close. Looks like the farmer's got it. This is going to be interesting. After a few weeks, the adventurers do indeed move on, but the patricians accuse you of being soft and grumble a great deal about damage. Now, the problem is there's another step to this plan. Sitting on a beach outside a Sun Beach villa, two patricians of the coast meet to plot their latest scheme. The thrice cursed monarch is still refusing to sell us public land. Makes sense. The treasury is flush with coin right now. Patience, my friend. Let's bide our time until the monarch's gold runs out. Yeah, that's fine. Meanwhile! Did anyone forget the counts? A countess rides to a remote, unremarkable spot of moorland. Soon another joins her. The church is scrabbling for power. The High Inquisitor is losing her grip on the populace. How delightful! Then we can make our move unseen. We must invite a demon to possess the monarch. The ancient books describe two demons, each attracted to a different aspect of a human mind. You have choices. Might have to tank my authority soon. All my money. Both I can tank. I might have to just tank my treasury to buy myself time. This is going to be interesting. No, you haven't. No, you haven't, Animex. According to the grimoires I've read, the Duke of Greed is attracted to individuals who hoard wealth. We must ensure the monarch is filthy rich. 5,000! Okay, that's not bad. I think I can keep my money not at 5,000. Meanwhile, down in the south, Grandi Inuiten is visiting the wizard Athmoral in her tower, floating on an island amid the clouds. The beehives are silenced, and over in the apiary the vast city of the Dream Queens are hollow ruins. It pains me that this was necessary, but they were growing arrogant. My thanks, great wizard. Now, shall we discuss how to overthrow this troublesome monarch? Oh dear. It's alright. We can tank my stability. We can tank my stability, probably. There are many ways I can do that. Yes, but I'd rather take a risk than lose. Far, far away? Yeah, that can be done. I will steal the monarch away through the apiary, where distance works differently. But the apiary is a land of dreams, and in times of turbulence, nightmares. It must be peaceful if I aim to navigate very far. Yes, that can be done. We'll make sure the kingdom's as peaceful as a sleeping lamb and everyone's dreaming pleasant dreams. Stability 10 for one full season without starting a rebellion. So next season I need to reduce my stability by 1! By the way, you get a tax break! You get a tax break! You get a tax increase! Actually, no. You stay as you are. There we go. Okay. We need to lower my stability. You see, everyone but the patrician, the grandees, want this high, so everyone else wants that low. The rest of it's all money. So this is getting very interesting. Start with stop the presses. Your Majesty, some anonymous firebrand in the East is spreading most inflammatory pamphlets. They're casting aspersions against you. What's new? Something's different this time. They're not just calling you a bad monarch, they're criticizing the very concept of monarchy. This is republicanism, and not in Kurth, but in our very own kingdom. What should we do? Oh! I mean, there are 2 options right here that could deal with that. All we need to do is prevent A. We want stability down. I'm torn. I want to see the fish baby, but I also want to win. Do whatever you want. It's fine. We married Glorb. That's all that matters. Remember, only the grandees want stability to be at 10. Everyone else wants it lower. And clearly C is the one that everyone else is voting on. Oh, okay. Forbid the use of presses altogether. Just BAM! Block of... Yeah, they want stability high. That's what they want. It makes sense. This is turning out to be tense. It's too late. There are dozens of printing presses set up across the kingdom now, pumping out everything from cookbooks to holy texts. There's no putting the genie back in the bottle, and our attempts to suppress it appear desperate. The pamphlets continue to spread. For the first time, people across the kingdom seriously contemplate the idea of a republic. But for now, it remains a Finn's faction of rabble-rousers and radicals. Ooh. However, the Horde. Your Holiness, the Hordlings. They've returned. The soldiers we sent only got rid of them temporarily. They've taken over my vineyards again. Those little goits are impossible to kill. Never mind that, Your Highness. You must act quickly to alleviate the spoons shortage in the south. Spoons are disappearing across all the region. I'm sorry, spoons? It's no laughing matter. Have you ever tried to eat soup with a fork? It's simply impossible. I call for a vote. Praise be, thank you, Your Majesty. Pivot the South's industry to make more spoons. Burn down the Grandee's vineyard. Order a hunt for the missing spoons. Let's burn something. Alright, if you want burnings... I will appease your want for fire. Nothing sandwich. No. I'm sorry, Andy the Grunt, but the people want fire. I want my vines. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. You will remember this. No, that's not what I was asking for. That vineyard is my livelihood. But an infestation of hoardlings is no single person's problem. If they were to spread, they could ruin more and more homes and businesses across the south. The vineyard, and half the hillside with it, is lit up like the sun. Once Grandy Andy the Grunt's wealth goes up in smoke, it's not long before he's turned to begging on the streets of Aranja. Most peculiarly, you find a hoard of missing spoons in the burning wreckage. It seems the hoardlings were collecting them. Spoons! Also, pox. Your Grace, I bring grim tidings. An outbreak of crystal pox is ravaging the east. Crystal pox? What's that? A most terrible disease, Your Highness. It begins with a rash of boils, and slowly and painfully crystallizes until the poor victim is sparkling like a diamond. Eventually, the sufferer becomes a crystalline statue. A painful, but admittedly glamorous way to go. How many dead? Whole villages have succumbed. The disease is terribly virulent. Your Majesty, if I may make a suggestion? Victims of crystal pox are only infectious at the boil stage. Once they are fully covered in crystals, they no longer spread the disease. Indeed, the pox crystals can be harvested and used as jewellery. If we allow the pox to spread, it could make money in the east. By the blood of the dead, woman! That is heartless! Even for you! The only way to fight the pox is to close the roads and shut down all trade until the wave subsides. Is that what you want? For the east to lose money? Oh. Oh! I mean, all of these lower stability. We don't want A, though. Nobody except the Counts wants A. The Counts want A, the other two do not want A. A is bad. We definitely want A. You do! Counts are somehow okay with their own people because... Yeah, but they'll be... Because I'm going to hate myself later on, probably. A leads to a Count victory, indeed. So all the Counts vote that... Oh, but the Counts are outvoted. Whew. Okay, the Counts. This is interesting, because there are two people so close to winning. They're so close. And they're going to fight each other bitterly. Instead of blood diamonds, you have blood... Your boil diamonds. Which Grandy did that. Blockades are placed on the roads leading in and out of the east. Nobody goes in or out. For a month, the crystal pox ravages the countryside. When the blockade is lifted, many fields lie fallow with no farmers to tend them. Eastern villages are dotted with the gleaming statues of the afflicted. But thanks to the council's quick thinking, the disease doesn't spread beyond the east's borders. Once the roads are open, Counts harvest gemstones for the quarantined dead and sell them at a tidy profit. Ooh, that's bad. Not that one! Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have any... I'm gonna change it. About your heir! Food riots. Ooh. Your marriage to Glorb has leaped from strength to strength over the past few months. Truly you found your soulmate, and every day you count your blessings. It's high time you thought about an heir. Well, you're finally married, but something's still missing. You need an heir. You need someone young, whose loyalty is assured. A child of your own would do a trick, even if they're illegitimate. Or the youngest of your many cousins. My husband and I will have a child together. Ah, the traditional method. No one will object to that. I'll arrange for you to take a month out from ruling so you can get down to business. Meanwhile, food riots! Your Highness, the famine in the east grows worse by the day. Riots are breaking out in all the major townships, from Rudgard to Biskovza. Oh! Starving mobs are pillaging bakeries, granaries, and merchant houses. What are we to do? Send in the army to control the riots. Ooh, go be, Patricias. I've got a veto. You don't get B as an option. You don't get B. B ain't a thing. You've got A and you've got D. C is locked, probably because... I don't know. Boo! Why would I give you B? And I'll purchase enough alcohol to block out my imagination. Like, I'm not gonna give you B. The Counts don't have enough money. Yeah. The Counts don't have enough money. That's why. This is getting difficult, by the way. What happened to your earlier benevolence? I don't want to die. That's kind of what's going on here. I don't want to die. It's still mostly stable. That's a problem, though. How dare you take our goods from us without compensation? We have a very valuable trade deal in place. We planned to sell that grain to Sal for a steep profit. Now it's fallen through and I've already paid for the cargo space. Oh, shut up, Lackwit. My people are starving. Immense quantities of surplus grain are diverted from the south to the east. And once the peasants are have bread again, the riots cease. That's enough to tide them over until the next harvest. Yeah, Defiance isn't great. It's alright, we've got food now. Your Grace, the seasons have not been kind to us in the east. We face poor harvests and miserable farmers. I beg you send aid. What do you need? What, people? No. No, I am to be wed, your majesty. And when that day comes, I drink only the finest mead. But with farms in their current state, we lack the honey. I need more bees. Force the farmers of the east to don their fancy wicker suits, and we shall drink all of our fill of honey wine. No? Then again, passing a law that mandates beekeeping, it's pretty good. I like that one. That one's good. I can't stop anything else. Vote anything but B. To be fair, you could vote A and it would still be fine. You could vote C and it would be fine. I should have put that on A, actually. But either one's fine. Oh? See, if I'd have put it on A would have been better. It's alright, though. We got this. We should be okay. Offer honey subsidies. The East farmers are uncertain until you explain that apiarism actually just means keeping bees. Soon the East is abuzz. Thank you, Your Majesty. My wedding is sure to be a success. Yay! It's all okay right now. It's all good. That's a bit of a problem, though. Potentially. But bear in mind, you could still lose a rebellion. Do we have an air thing yet? Missing spoons, eh? Where's the third thing? Oh, blistering heat. Your Majesty, dreadful tidings. Summer has been exceedingly hot this year, and citizens have been dying from the heat. The harvest will be poor, as you can imagine. Is there something I can do? Perhaps, if your Highness and Council are willing. Force the peasants to work through the summer. Mandate midday siestas, or encourage immigration to supplement the labour market. The only problem with rebelling together is you both can't be king. I do kind of need stability up a bit. So I'm going to veto B. That's true, but all they need is money to go down a bit. All the patricians need is a little bit of bad luck with money. And that will happen in time. Yeah, and for all we know, I might actually be at the third step. I can't control what you do. Midday siestas. I like the idea of the midday siestas. I just didn't want B. Naps are good. Naps are good. You implement special measures in the south to account for hostile climates. The peasantry are grateful, and in turn, so are the grandees. Though productivity dips, your benevolence is marked throughout the land. Let's go with a curse. Oh, curses are always fun. Grandee Vorlane II rushes into the council chamber, breathless and in disarray. By the 9th, you look like you haven't slept in weeks. That's because I've been placed under a curse. Look, my hair's falling out in chunks. Perhaps you're old. Or ill. It was one of my peasants. I saw it in her eyes. She's an evil witch. You've seen C before. You have. Voting is all over the place. This is turning out to be a closely contested one. Ooh, we're going for a 70% roll. Going for a 70% roll. Let's see how that goes. It's either 70% or 90%. Sure enough, the scholar from Quail University discovered a contaminated well on Vorlane II's estate. Not enough to kill, but enough to make her hair fall out and set her nerves on edge. The water is cleansed, the accused peasant returns to her work, and the scholars have a new poison to investigate, thus bumping up stability. And now rebellion is impossible. It's too high. Rats. Missing spoons, though. So, strange thing, but... have you noticed our spoons disappearing lately? I swear I can never find one when I need one. I've noticed it too. We should probably do something about it. We can't just steal the monarch's spoons and get away with it. More people turning up. I'm gonna try locking up the spoons outside of meal times. The spoons are locked away in drawers only accessible to yourself and your immediate family. A few weeks go by until you notice forks go missing instead. A lack of cutlery leaves you eating with your bare hands and cursing the fool that thinks this is funny. Darn it! Oh! Okay! This is interesting. I can't do anything here. D and C. Yeah, because actually, ironically, D is good. Because it means you can just win. Oh, sorry, C is good rather, because you can just win with C. Like, you could just win with C. And also F is decent. It's just 1 point. Yeah, but you only need 2 to win. Like, if you can force an event that then gives me 10 stability, you win. Patricians are funding our military decline. Well, the result was no change. Do we have an heir now? Bees! There's just an event called bees! First we'll do, bees! The East has taken to beekeeping like bees to a flower. Crops are bountiful, the fields are blooming. There have been festivals, and much dancing and merriment. You had 0 farming at one point. But the church is worried. The farm folk are besieged by nightmares, all involving bees. It has made them superstitious, and they're losing faith in the... Your Majesty, wait! The East farms have improved beyond measure, and there is widespread happiness like never before. But for some reason the church wishes to burn our hives. Wait, what? It must be done. Our churches lie empty in holy days, and the peasants of the East now worship only the harvest. They pray to their hives instead of the 9th. Your Grace, please. The peasants have full bellies and joyful smiles. That is what the church would burn, Your Majesty. Liar! My priest reported your peasants complain all night. Horrors of insomnia. Something evil is happening in the East. Honestly, I have no propensity either way. Vote however you like. I should have put stability on bees, clearly. It's alright, though. You all... I should have put stability on bees. Or rather, authority on bees. Bees! All the bees! Oh, this is going on. I should have put stability on bees. Good quote there. Thank you. More bees! The church is horrified. The farmers are overjoyed. They invest in more hives and throw festivals to celebrate. Not festivals in your name, but in the name of the ninth god. But at least they're happy. Oh, there's no faith here. An opportunity, your holiness. A Kurth ship sunk last week just off our coast. I request permission to salvage the wreckage. Kurth vessels are always full of valuable things. Wait. It might be off your coast, but it's in our waters, by the ninth. In fact, it's closer to our city of Hithos than any of yours. But you ceded those waters years ago in exchange for a chest of silver. You were having money problems. Your Majesty, esteemed council, don't let this liar fool you. Just gonna do that. I don't want that one. That'll make you both mad. This is gonna go badly wrong regardless. This has been an interesting run, I'll say that much. Leave the wreck alone has, yeah, we don't have the authority for that. I wish we did. Okay. Allow the grandees. But what? But it's in our waters! Move over. The council's word is final, isn't it? But the operation doesn't get off the ground, so to speak. The reef where the ship sank is dangerous and full of sharks. After dozens of divers go missing and are presumed eaten, the whole thing's called off. Unable to sleep, you wander the castle alone. You're walking past the padlocked spoon safe when you notice something extraordinary. A small, hairy creature that looks like a monkey is deftly picking the lock. When it sees you, it abruptly shifts form in a shimmer of light, until you're standing face to face with Glorb. Don't mind me, your majesty. Just inspected the spoons. Did you just call me your majesty?
That isn't what people call you? Never mind. I should probably come clean and save us both the trouble. I'm your spoon thief. I'm a hob. I can transform at will into any form I desire. It's how I hide in your palace so easily.
Why spoons?
You burned down Grandi Andy the Grant's vineyard and killed all my poor hoardlings. I was having a lot of fun in that place. You spoiled a well-deserved vengeance.
For what?
That lubberwort burned down my forest. I vowed I'd get revenge in the most annoying way possible, by stealing his spoons, and now yours. You don't know how important spoons are until you live without them. Ever try to eat soup with a fork? Anyways, you burned down his vineyard, so I suppose you'll be thankful for that. Want to make a deal? You throw Grandi Andy the Grant in jail, and I'll leave you alone.
Ooh. Fine. I'll have him arrested tomorrow.
Excellent. Then I'm satisfied.
The next day, you have Grandi Andy the Grunt summarily arrested on trumped-up charges. He's blabbering the whole time. Something about being cursed by an ancient spirit. You don't pay him much attention. A few days later, a horde of missing spoons turns up in your vault. Not just the ones stolen from you, but also many others of varying shapes, materials, and values. You never see Hob again. Ah, but here's the thing. Is it not tax season? I feel like, being generous to the patricians and the grandees today. I think you deserve a tax break. Don't you? A wise and benevolent queen! Yeah, you could potentially still rebel, but there's not much else I can do. My heir, though! Your quest for an heir is finally complete. You stand before the council holding a child in your arms. Should I die, I ask that my crown be passed down to... Nervous silence. My child! The assembled nobles break out into polite applause. By designating an heir, you've cemented the stability of your kingdom. Your Majesty, may I be the first to congratulate you on the birth of your child? What is their name? Blorb 2! Now Veronica III. Most pleasing, Your Highness. I'm sure Veronica III will grow up to be a chip of the old block. Congratulations on finding an heir! Now you need to fulfill your ambition to win the game. Oh, this is so difficult! This is so difficult! You can't rebel! Stability is at 9. Europe Defiance is at 8. I'm still balancing it out! Somehow! You could! Your Majesty, I bring news from our newly constructed prison in the south. One of the prisoners, a murderous rogue by the name of Mousejack Jamforth, has escaped. His location is currently... The double door barge is open. A grubby-looking peasant strides in the council hall, escorted by an anxious watchman. In this room? Sorry, Your Majesty. He said it was urgent, and he was pretty persuasive. Your Majesty, I swear I'm innocent. Grandy Racketshin threw me in prison on trumped-up charges simply because I said I didn't like his hat. Haha, Your Holiness, I have no idea what this fool is talking about. Ooh. So... Interesting. Vote A. A doesn't exist. Oh wait! No! B doesn't exist. B means a guaranteed victory for someone. B doesn't exist. Almost! I looked at it and went, hang on! Hang on! Hang on! Ooh, then again, ask the Spy Master to investigate further is doing something. Oh, we are split across the board. Ooh. This is really, really tense. I hope you're enjoying it, folks. I have 102 people here. 49 nobles. Why, the 9th, Your Highness! You're going to investigate me on the word of a peasant? Your Spy Master slips away to investigate this matter. When she returns, she's holding a hat. There's no doubt about it, Your Majesty. I actually quite like the hat. It's stylish. But Mousejack Jamforth was imprisoned on spurious charges, simply for insinuating it, for insulting it under his breath. Now what are you going to do about it? Both are bad situations. So you know what I'm going to do? I know I don't. I will allow both Racketshin and the peasant to go free. I'll take the authority hit. I'll take the authority hit.
While the common folk celebrate Mousejack Jamford's exoneration, it's also taken as a sign the monarch's justice is flawed. Yeah, it is, but the others are worse. Later you hear that Mousejack Jamford's turned up dead in a ditch. Came down with a bad case of multiple stab wounds, apparently. Grandee Rackenshin swears he isn't to blame. Whatever the case, common folk certainly blame Rackenshin and lay down their farming tools in protest. This is going to be very precarious. Over a hat? Yeah, over a hat. Your Majesty, I wish to speak to you about the situation in the East. The council have long been a matter of suspicion for those of us in the church.
Mayhem!
But now idolatry and devil worship are commonplace amongst the whole region. Thank you very much, Rackenshin, for Prime Gaming 15 months. It is a very nice hat. It's a very nice hat. Allow me to send one of my best missionaries to the East. It's for the good of the realm. You see, the problem is... Which of these do you go for? You're in a bad way either direction. Yes. You indeed are. Council vote could go very badly against you. Yeah. Go for the stability. See, I don't know. I don't know what that does. B will likely increase it? Or will it increase... Or will it increase faith? I won't hear any more of this. Be gone. Very well, Your Highness. As he sweeps out the room with as much dignity as he can muster, you're sure you haven't heard the last of this? It won't be a problem. It's going to be a problem. Don't want that. None of these are good. My ambition, though. At the start of your reign, you said you wanted to be a peacekeeper. You've succeeded in that front. The kingdom is peaceful, and you're renowned for your mercy and wisdom. Well done, Your Majesty! -1 defiance. Oh! But to shut down the nobles scheming for good, we need to build on that reputation. Your advisors have ideas. The common folk are a sleeping giant that even the nobles are afraid to wake. If you become beloved by the peasants, the nobles won't dare to overthrow you for fear of rebellion. My advice, on the other hand, would be to infiltrate each region with loyal spies, defeat their schemes with schemes of their own, but the Chancellor has other ideas. So, it's the average. You did commoners, yes, but I'm looking at this in a purely mathematical sense. It has to be the combination of the two. Stability and trade, or stability and farming. Farming is 1 total higher. It is... Hey, Cav! We might not actually finish this one this week, which is interesting. We might actually have to continue it next time. Farming is 1 higher. We're going with farming. We have to. It's the only chance I've got. Yeah. I'm looking at this in a... You know what? No. We'll do with Kingdom Spy Network. We'll do it that way around. A wise decision, Your Majesty. I'll begin recruiting spies. We'll send them across the kingdom in the guise of travelling bards. But this will require a fine touch. Your priority is to raise the kingdom's stability and overall trade as much as you can. And of course, we can't be an open rebellion among the nobles. We do have an heir, Cav! A fishy heir. Bet this will raise the harvest. Your Majesty, I must speak to you at once. The beekeepers in the east have become emboldened. They see the kingdom's support as an endorsement of their beliefs. Beliefs? The High Inquisition betrays no hint of emotion. They become obsessed with bees, Your Majesty. They form their own traditions and ceremonies with honey, hooded robes, and dancing. It must be stopped. Why exactly? These farmers speak of death, Your Majesty, and the coming harvest. They speak of golden tongues and blood running like honey. This is nothing more than a cult, yet the counts are more than tolerating it. This isn't a cult, it's merely a quaint rural traditions, and they are making some divine honey. Well, some of these are bad. No, this is no business of the council is really bad. There is no C option. There is no C option. I don't know what A is gonna do. But I can't have C. Hey Cav, you here to ruin the 11th hour to ruin everything? It's fine. Well, let's see what happens when you roll a 0% chance. I literally cannot have stability. Stability will go down anyway. But authority would also go down. Like, please stop. 0 faith. I should have gone with farming. Farming would have gone so much better. You send troops and inquisitors to the east. This cult will bend the knee to the ninth god or face your wrath. Some farmers, refuse to recognize the knight's supremacy. They are burned at the stake. Inquisitor looks on, eyes gleaming. Despite this public example, other farmers still refuse to abandon the bee cult, which continues to flourish. Churches stand empty. The holy books are burned. Peasants kneel before their hives, praying for honey. I should have gone with the bee cult. It's fine. We can still raise stability. Or authority. Dreadful tidings, Your Holiness. A meddling wizard has set up shop in Sierrana. I believe it is the Gordius, the Stone Talker. Why is this a problem? He's put out a call for new apprentices, which is a rare event. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for many. Droves of unwashed glory-seeking peasants from all over the south are lining up for their chance. Not just peasants. I, Farsight 3, have also decided to apply. And competition will be fierce, but those serfs are no match. I'll be the most powerful noble this council's ever seen. You? You couldn't put your clothes on if it wasn't for your servants' help. We can't let this go ahead. Not only is it heresy, it presents a clear and dangerous conflict of interests. Then we'll assemble the council. Ninth bless you, Your Highness. Not that one! Oh, joy, not that one. B will kill you, I know, but I can't stop it. Bees! He has so much money! I'm going to actually go with this one. I'm going with the gambit here. Actually, no. No.
Let's go with that one. We'll forbid it. Cav is like, no! We must vote for this. It's gonna be bad either way. Oh. Oh, it's close. Oh, it's not so close anymore. Woo! Why are we splitting the vote? I don't know. Why are you splitting the vote? You're splitting the vote for my benefit, to be fair. I don't know what this will do. Ninth bless you, your highness, for not bowing to this power-hungry fool. Now if you'll excuse me, I must deal with this troublesome wizard. So a noble can't even enter into a years-long blood pact to become an all-powerful demigod without council approval? Whatever happened to so-called freedom? Gordia's presence in Saronia attracts all sorts of visitors, though the power of his latent magic starts to wilt crops for miles around. I have time for one more season, I think. I mean, I could roll the dice. All goes according to plan, your majesty. Let me show you. It won't work. Your spy master takes you to a secret passage in your own private office. You emerge into a hidden chamber where a number of hooded figures are waiting. Those are my agents. They can blend into a crowd as effortlessly as they can slip a knife between a traitor's ribs. How can you be sure of their loyalty? I've been very careful in my selection. You can rely on these agents. Soon they will infiltrate the courts of all the nobles on your council, disguised as travelling bards. One of the spies tosses aside her cloak, revealing a lute and a colourful costume of a troubadour. With charm and flattery, they'll worm their way into your nobles' hearts and minds. Then we will have a spy network, the likes of which the world has never seen. I hope to make even the Gort of Taverlin look like rank amateurs. Can you give us a song? A few notes are plucked on the lute. The assembled spies launch into a ballad. It's actually not bad. Your toes tapping. If you think this is good, you should see them throw a knife. You can cut a rope at 30 yards. This should put a stop to their foolish schemes, and it will keep the kingdom stable for the rest of your reign. A little blackmail is a small price to pay. A week passes before you hear more news. Your spy master arrives in your office with a tiny scroll, small as a cherry stem, clutched between two fingertips. This is a message from one of our agents. Your Majesty, I sent her to Lord Patrician Mr. Jesse 023's villa disguised as a troubadour, with a fiddle at the ready. Open it. Of course. 50%. The spy master studies the scroll for a moment, and a smile creeps across her face. She holds it over a candle flame, and it vanishes in a puff of cinders. She's been welcomed by Lord Patrician Mr. Jesse's 023's court with open arms, and is already flattering him with fawning songs, and flattening him with the amazing performances. But why are they in a field? Let's hope our other spies were just as successful. Over the next few weeks, you receive back more and more of your agents. Almost all of them have successfully wormed their way into your nobles' courts. Now we must hope they can maintain their cover. 70%. A few more weeks. You wait anxiously for another message. When it arrives, your spy master reads it with a face like thunder. Do you want the good news or the bad news? Just give me the bad news and get it over with. The bad news is that we had to dredge one of our spies' bodies out of a canal yesterday. But the good news is Lord Patrician Messies couldn't work out who they sent it, so that's something at least. Another death on my conscience. Oh, get over it. You're a monarch. It's part of the business. The problem is the kingdom's too unstable. Everyone's on edge. Everyone's paranoid. If a bard shows up on their doorstep, they'll ask difficult questions. Of course, they're right to be paranoid, but it's no good for us. We need our nobles to be fat and happy. More and more of your spies are ferreted out and killed. Luckily, your involvement remains a mere rumour. To improve your chances,
Do it again over the next 2 seasons. Unfortunately, I won't have time to finish it this session. But I will get to the end of this season. But next time we could try and see how this goes. But I still have these 2 here. Like, easing the tension. Oh no. Your Majesty, nobles of the Council. Tensions are running high, but the kingdom itself is stable. Perhaps it's time to forget our past troubles and come together as friends. What do you have in mind, Chancellor? We could exchange gifts, or hold a friendly competition, a fashion show, or a game of riddles. Your Majesty, why don't we hold a vote on a team-building exercise to help you and the Council trust each other again? Ooh. I mean... C is bad. B isn't great. D raises defiance, which is good for some people. You can afford C. I can actually afford C. This is true. I can just afford C. So we veto D. We veto D. Yeah. Makes you vulnerable, but not lose. Yeah. Couch vote A. Ooh. Counts are voting A. Game of riddles, however, could be fun. Yeah, they're voting. They're voting there. See, I'm willingly giving away my money here. But it's an exchange of gifts. A capital idea. Gift givers and recipients are plucked at random from a hat. You're assigned to give a gift to Count Diffuse 000000 and give a gift to Noble Patrician Panak Kas... I'll go Panka, rather. What do you buy for the Count? Ooh! I could improve your trade! Trade is something I want improving. A suit full of bees! Oh, you don't need trade anymore. Oh. I will give him a jewel-studded chalice, I think. Most generous! You have my thanks, Your Grace. I will await my gift. You wait and wait, but your gift does not arrive. Noble Patrician was not the gift-giving mood. Oh dear. This isn't what I wanted to happen at all. That's fine. This isn't fine, though. Your Majesty, the yields at the eastern farms are extraordinary. I've never seen the like. The peasants are practically drowning in cabbages. They've even hybridized a new variety of pest-resistant cabbage that cures nightmares. We must assemble a team from the university to study this new crop. It could benefit the entire kingdom. By the blood of the dead, wait a moment. You can't spread our secret to just anyone. I'll have you know our produce is very much in demand. We're just in the middle of securing a cabbage trade agreement with Taverlin. These eggheads could disrupt things terribly. I need stability, I do. Everyone knows I need it, though, is the problem. Education is cool. Do it for the fish, baby. We're kind of in the same boat as you now, Kiko. That's true. I'm gonna go for the hybrids for the kingdom. Gonna go hybrids for the kingdom here. Oh! Oh! Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. My cabbages. Peasants across the land start thinking that you invented the marvellous Veronica II's cabbages that begin thriving throughout the kingdom. You become known as Veronica II the Gardener. As for the counts, they're most affronted, citing trade secrets. They've been planning to name it something like Cabbage of Eastern Tranquility, but Veronica II's cabbage has a better ring to it, and the council has spoken. Okay. Oh. Fortunately, I think it's at the end of the season. Oh dear. So if you don't want the grandees to win, make sure that C doesn't get voted on. Yeah. If you don't want the grandees to win, avoid C. Or make sure other things win that are not C. I see, however, what Cav is voting for. Or have A and C win. That works too. A and C winning works fine. Ooh. Oh dear, look at this. I'm saving my money. Might be wise. Because there's going to be a next reign next time. That's a lot of money. I got traitor this, traitor that, and then it's screw it. I won't be here for next week, so going broke is a non-issue for you. Let's see if we can quickly get this rounded off. Let's see if... Oh, it's 2 seasons, isn't it? Oh, it's 2 seasons for the ambition stuff. Oh, it's 2 seasons. Oh. Stability down. Trade down. Yeah, I can't finish off this week. Oh. That is a problem. Because of the time being what it is, I've realised how long it's gone over. I'm already over on my time. Oh. That puts a spanner in the works. It's fine, finish it next week. I'd rather, because time is a thing I am mindful of. It's not just me I have to consider here, unfortunately. But this does leave it on a cliffhanger. This cannot be. We can do the finale we will. I will broadcast that it will be the finale next time. So if we quit, it'll save it. Best cliffhanger, best hanger. That's true. I apologize. It's so... If I'd have won that role, we'd have succeeded, but... Next time, it'll all go horribly wrong. You know it will all go wrong. I must avenge my cabbages. You all must avenge your cabbages. It must all be vengeanced. Best of luck rebelling next week. Not that I see it happening. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have mulled on things so much. I want to win, but I want to see Fish Baby. We all want to see Fish Baby. It's gonna be bees and it is. It's gonna be bees and cabbages. It's always the bee. It has been the bees. There's a lot of bees stuff. But you know what, folks? Win or lose next time, it's fantastic that you're all here. So thank you all ever so much. It's all absolutely fantastic. Bees and cabbages should be the VOD now. Bees, fish, and cabbages. But thank you all ever so much. You're all absolutely amazing and fantastic. I just want to become a wizard. A little. But you're all amazing. A couple of things I need to quickly talk about before we conclude. Like, for instance, my website, kikoskia.com. You can check out all kinds of things there, including my schedule. Thank you, Demon. You can read the 3 Dozen. You can also find links away to Karen Hope. There's my Discord, which you can join a larger thriving community. Nothing like Splash. There's loads of places to talk about stuff. Loads of emotes based on Let's Plays as soon as past and present. You can link your Twitch and Discord together, and if you sub me on Twitch, you can use the Twitch emotes on Discord. Bees and cabbages. Cabbages and bees. That's that one bee cabbage. There's also my Patreon. You can pledge to support me in doing what I do there. There's nothing Let's Play stream wise hidden behind paywalls. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes though. Like, for instance, all the editing, compression, and test streams and test recordings and everything that makes all what I do a reality. Not only that, but in these times I do rely on the people that pledge to me to make all what I do possible. There's also that those that do pledge to me not only get a different coloured name on Discord and my deep and sincere thanks, you also get the ability to put games forward for a shortlist that gets voted on by the wider community. You come up with the shortlist, the wider community votes for it. Then there are my YouTube channels, Kikoskia, which is my near 16-year running Let's Play channel with over 10,000 videos. I'm so old. And Kikvodskia, which has my more recent Twitch VODs and the ones going forward. Many of the older ones are available on Kikoskia. My hope is to get Kikoskia up to 100,000 YouTube subscribers and Kikvodskia up to 1,000. And remember, both like engagement in the form of comments and likes, and subscribing if you're not, and if you are subscribed, press that bell for those notifications. For Frondo! Then there is my Twitter, and my Discord and YouTube community, as well as Instagram, Mastodon, and Blue Sky. There you can get notifications about when I start streaming, when my Let's Play videos go live, and all kinds of random other stuff. There's also my Throne wishlist, where you can put money towards buying things that provide me with joy. And if you have an idea for a gift and it's not there, you can suggest something in the suggestions thing. I'm glad you liked it, Deus. Finally, there is me thanking all of you, because seriously, you are all absolutely amazing and fantastic and brilliant and wonderful, and I couldn't do what I do without you, and I wouldn't want to do what I do without you. You are the heart and soul of my community. You make it all possible, and I could not do it without you. I wouldn't want to, because I make the content, but you make the content, if that makes any sense. I hope it does, because you're all absolutely wonderful and just the most giving community I could ever hope for. And it's just so wonderful. I keep saying the word wonderful because it's wonderful. No problem, Neon, and thank you very much. And with your continued support, I'll be able to keep doing this for many years to come, as many years as is possible. And whether it be morning, afternoon, I'm glad you liked it, Sinistral. Whether it be morning, afternoon, or evening, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I hope you achieve everything you set out to do. The next stream is tomorrow, 2 PM GMT, Animal Crossing New Horizons. We get to see the beginning of the new year, and you also get to see what happened on New Year's Eve and the New Year celebrations. And I hope to see you there. And I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later. Morning, afternoon, or bees, indeed. And remember, be nice to each other, everyone. Get it? 'Cause bees? And because if the world, where everyone was nice to each other, it would be a better place. And I want that. And I hope you do too. Later. Watch next time, the pre-stream. Like, everything just falls apart. It probably will. Later.